Hello class. In this video we are going to take a look at coding etiology and manifestations. The example we're going to use to code is Alzheimer's disease. Now you'll start in your index to diseases. So let's look up Alzheimer's in the index to diseases. And here it is. And when you look up Alzheimer's disease, it gives you a direction to C, disease, Alzheimer's. When you get a C note in the index to diseases, it will not return a code to you. However, we have a C also note over here. In a C also note, it often does return a code to you. And you want to look up both codes. You want to go look up whatever it's referring you to also look at, and you want to make some kind of comparative analysis to determine which is the correct code. In our case here, Alzheimer's, it says C disease Alzheimer's, does not return a code to us. So let's look up disease in the index to diseases. Here is disease. If we go down a little bit further, there is Alzheimer's. And look, we have two codes. This is etiology and manifestation. It's a paired code set that must be coded together and in this order. The code that is in the italicized brackets is the secondary code. G30.9 would be your primary or your principal diagnosis, and F02.80 would be your secondary diagnosis. Now, we never code directly out of the index to diseases, so let's look at these codes to make sure that there are no additional instructional notes or anything else that we need to look at. We'll start off with G30.9, and I always start off at the 3-digit code category because that's where your includes, your excludes, and additional coding is. So it says includes Alzheimer's, dementia, senile, and presenile forms. And here's your excludes. No, excludes 1, senile degeneration of the brain, senile dementia, senile not otherwise specified. We're coding Alzheimer's. There is no mention of senility there. It also has a use additional code to identify. So this is telling you you need a secondary code. The first one says delirium, if applicable. So you would only code that if it was applicable. The second two are dementia with behavioral disturbances. Here's our FO2 code, FO2.81. And our Alzheimer's disease did not specify that there was a behavioral disturbance. Dementia without behavioral disturbances, F02.80. Now, we have a 4th digit indicator. Here are our 4th digits. Alzheimer's early onset, that's not what we're looking up. Alzheimer's late onset, that's not what we're looking up. Other Alzheimer's disease, that's not really what we're looking up. We really need Alzheimer's disease unspecified, because the only diagnosis that was given to us to code was Alzheimer's. So it looks like G30.9 is the correct first listed code. Now let's look up the F02.80. Again, I am going to start at the code category so that I don't miss any instructional notes. Here's our includes, so it would include a neurocognitive disorder, so we wouldn't need to code that separately if that was mentioned because it's included in here. And looky here, code first the underlying physiological condition such as Alzheimer's. And there's the G30. There's a whole list of other diagnoses that could also be underlying conditions, also known as etiologies, for this particular dementia. Now this dementia has a 4th digit indicator. Let's start looking at the rest of our codes, which will continue on the top of the next column. There are some additional etiology codes here that could be used with this FO2 code. And here's the excludes note that it says excludes dementia and alcohol and psychoactive substance disorders. And we have no mention of those in our diagnosis. And when we come down to the fourth digit codes, because remember, our code category said, look at the fourth digits, you're looking for fourth digits. Here are the fourth digits of the F02s. And now we have a new indicator when we come to the fourth digits that says, ooh, you need a fifth digit. We have F02.80, which is dementia and other diseases classified elsewhere without behavioral disturbances. This is the code that we saw in the index to diseases. It looks to be the correct code because F02.81 is for dementia, other diseases classified elsewhere with behavioral disturbances. We're just coding Alzheimer's. We have no indication that there is a dementia with a behavioral disturbance. There is nothing that implies that. So we are going to code the F02.80 as our secondary code. So now after looking these up in the index to diseases and then going to the tabular section, reading all of the notes, all the instructional notes that are there and our includes notes and our excludes notes, it does appear that the two correct codes that we need to code are G30.9 followed by F02.80. This concludes our video. If you have any additional questions about coding, etiology, and manifestations, then please post them out on the discussion board or send them to me in a course message. Happy coding!